So I'm gonna grab these faces that are under here because they are not needed and get rid of those. And delete my history. I'm gonna snap my vertex down there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and apply. I'm gonna have to make a new material really quick. Just gonna go with a regular old Lambert. I'm gonna be calling it checker. So checker 1, I must have already had one in there called checker. So I'm gonna come into file. Now I need to grab this document here, so to go into my library should be in here. I love how Maya doesn't let you into your libraries quickly and easily. Alright, fine, we'll just do this the hard way. There we go. So, now we have our checker pattern here. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick automatic map just to get some UVs laid out. And opening up my texture editor, we're going to take a look and see where we're at. And this actually isn't bad for the type of normal map baking I'm doing, because we need all these faces to be their own separate shells in order to get a good bake on the normal mask, because this thing is so low poly that if I was to sew these edges together, we would get a horrible, weird normal map going across here, and it would have, you would have, you know, streaks going in random directions. And so to fix that problem, we just separate out our UV shells on meshes so they have more space. So I'm just making sure they have a little bit more space to work with. A little tight here. So ideally I would shrink this down a little bit more so I could put some more props onto this at a later time to clear up some UV space. So I'm gonna bring it down quite a bit because I have a light and a few other props that could fit into this space. So I'm making better use of my UVs. So there we go. That's going to be where our stairs are sitting. I'm going to take this off of this mode here. So now I'm going to go ahead and come into my rendering tab here, lighting and shading, and I'm going to come in for my transfer maps. And I'm just going to, I gotta switch directories here. It's kind of going not where it needs to be. There we go. Second building images. And RM1 for normal map 1, because I always bake 2 normal maps just so I can pull the best elements of 2 normal maps into one. So now we got our stuff set up here, and I need to clear that because this is actually not the target. The target is our low poly and our source. It's the high poly here. Well, it's set to assign a new shader. Maya Common 1024 by 1024. I'm going to go ahead and just go to medium because medium is going to bake fairly quick on my machine. And we're going to start with a geometry normals bake. So here we go. And I totally messed that up. I didn't have it on a new shader, so let me just rebake that really quick. I just baked normals into my checker pattern. Alright. So, let me turn my wireframe off. And we're going to look and see how this baked. And it really looks like this one map is probably going to work. But just to check, I'm gonna go ahead and bake my second map and see how it looks. And this match using surface normals is what I switch it to. And we can already see that this method is not the one we want to use. But it's going to work for our purpose and showing you how to fix normal maps that have issues in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come into Photoshop. And I'm going to open my 2 normal maps, so normal map 1 and normal map 2. So normal map 2 had the issues, or some of them, so I'm going to bring normal map 1 here and overlay it right on top. So we have the 2 just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and add a layer mask and fill this with black. Now I'm going to run across these seams here, and I'm just going to balance out these normals. Oops. Let's see. So we're going to run across the seam here. And we'll run across our edges down here. And here. And we're going to fix that problem there. So a lot of time what will happen when you're baking normal maps is, like for example, rounded objects will bake fine on, let's say, surface normals. And they look good there, but your corners will be baked incorrectly, and your corners will have all these weird seams like this. So when you switch over to geometry normals, your corners bake fine, but your circles don't. So that's why we would use these two maps to then paint in the correct normal information where it needs to go. And the only way to really get that is by baking two normal maps. So then we gotta fix these stairs on here. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save this as a normal without a number. So just stairs normal. And we're gonna open up its Lambert. And now apply the fixed normal map. And now if we look at it, all those problems have gone away. And what we're left with is a nice cleaned baked normal. So there you have it. That's baking normals on an extremely low poly mesh while still maintaining a very high poly look.